Howdy folks, here I am at a rest stop about 3 hours from Yosemite National Park. Hey friends, I am here at Yosemite National Park and I've been traveling somewhat aimlessly, making my way up to Vancouver, Canada, possibly the most beautiful place I've ever been in my life, and it seems like it would be a crime not to record a video while I'm here. This marks somewhat of a new chapter in my van life experience. I have officially exited the Phoenix, Arizona locale for the time being for the summer season. It has finally gotten too hot to handle. Here we are in front of this beautiful backdrop in the national parks of the United States of America. You know, sort of a cliche van life dream, and here I am staring at a beautiful view and, you know, feeling all the feelings of the beauty of nature and the freedom of being able to just drive around and explore aimlessly, and the sense of emptiness and loneliness and that, you know, that cliche feeling of what's the point of all of this beauty and wonder in the world if you ain't got no one to share it with. Mixed feelings abound. In terms of sustainability in my lifestyle, the Lord provides, man. I feel incredibly grateful for the fact that I've been able to live as cheaply and as simply as I've been able to so far. Of course, I need to buy things like gas and food, even got health insurance right now, and visited the dentist recently, which was very fun. I've been in this state of not working very much, not taking on a lot of freelance projects, sort of just taking the projects that come to me and not seeking out more, not having as much earning power as I believe that I could if I put more work into it. I have mixed feelings about that. A part of me feels like this is great. This is the secret to life. If you can get away with only working a handful of hours a week and still pay your bills because you live so cheaply, keep that up as long as you can. Part of me has a ton of anxiety about it because I feel like I'm slowly dwindling through my savings. This is all going to come home to roost. Before I know it, I'll be broke and I'll be living with my parents and not sure where to go from there. Of course, the fact that I even have the option of crashing with my parents is an incredible blessing that I should be grateful for. Thanks, Mom and Dad. Love you guys. Will I stop being lazy and get to work in the future? That's a very good question. The real dream, the dream is to see if I can pick up the pace with some of my freelance stuff and do all of my work from libraries and coffee shops and public spaces like that, in between being in the natural world like this. I mean, I know I can do it because I've done it in the past, you know, back in my former like apartment life. I don't know, man. I'm just so lazy or so undisciplined or so burnt out, or yeah, I don't know what. Maybe the thing that I've learned the most so far is that I don't know anything about myself. I don't know who I am or what I want or what I should be doing with my time. I feel so mixed up and confused and uncertain of myself as ever. Oh, hello friends. It's been such a long time. What have I been doing? Nothing. I've been crashing here in beautiful Vancouver, Canada, staying in the iconic apartment of award-winning YouTuber JJ McCullough. I've been here for like a month. I've spent a lot of time hanging out in this apartment. I've spent a lot of time walking around, bike riding, exploring. I spent like a week with JJ himself. He took me to a bunch of restaurants and showed me a bunch of Canadian landmarks. I spent a week with my special lady friend. She flew in and we visited a bunch of coffee shops, rode bikes around town, explored the city. And I've had a couple of weeks just to myself to do, I don't know, just whatever it is people do when they are single and live in an apartment. It's been an amazing opportunity. So grateful. Shout out to JJ McCullough for just spontaneously, randomly, out of nowhere, offering to let me stay in his apartment. Yeah, very, very cool of him. Thank you, JJ. We appreciate it. It's been such a strange time in my life, I guess you could say. I'm coming up on the 1 year anniversary, 1 year since my life completely blew up and changed forever. It's been an interesting experience living in an apartment once again, living not in a van for like a month. All of the creature comforts of having your own space, your own privacy, your own place to sleep and shower and go to the bathroom and be on your computer and use the kitchen, just all these totally normal things that people take for granted, luxuries you don't have when you're living out of a minivan. I've been enjoying that quite a bit. I don't know, man. Part of me has been like trying to get work done, trying to get back on track towards like being a creative person, maybe even like figuring out what's next, what am I going to do with my life? And then part of me has been like, I don't know, I guess because I'm still in the window of grief, like I'm still within a year of things changing in my life. I'm just totally giving myself a break and just being okay with like doing nothing. I don't know. I'm a working graphic designer, right? I'm a professional person. I've gotten some work done. I have paid some bills. I have fulfilled some invoices. But, I mean, let's be serious. I've mostly just been navel gazing. I spent a lot of time just walking around, like looking at the ocean, thinking about what am I doing here? What's going on? What's next? And then, of course, also like coming to the realization that there is no meaning to be found there. More or less, I've made my peace with that. I've come to understand that the best one can do is live within the present moment and be at peace with that. I don't know, man. I just have nothing to say. But it being my last night here in Canada, I felt it would be a sin not to take advantage of this space and offer some kind of reflection. What a strange time. So where do we go from here? What did we learn? What are the takeaways? I guess where I'm going is I'm going to be making my way towards Minnesota, spending time with my parents. They've got some sheep. It'll be nice, I think, to be back in the van because, as I said before, I've gotten used to a certain lifestyle here in my cosmopolitan existence in the heart of Vancouver. So it'll be good for me to go back to being a greaseball scum bum slithering out of my my suburban soccer mommy minivan, more in tune with nature and outside of the city smog and all of that as well, I suppose. It's fascinating to see how my perception of myself is quite different from how others perceive me. I don't know. I've been in a pretty low place for a while now. Certainly struggling with just feelings of uselessness, lack of direction, lack of purpose, lack of something tangible to contribute to the world. Those have been real pain points for me, and it's been interesting having some interactions with people, because I've met up with fellow like illustrators and creative people here in Vancouver who, when I sort of like give them some stickers and introduce myself and share my story, many people are sort of inspired or excited by what my life has become and what I've been up to. People seem to think of me as more of a real illustrator who's doing something with his life than I do. Potentially a lot of that has to do with perception and how I just tend to put the cool parts of my life out there and keep all the boring, sad, pathetic stuff to myself. I had this conversation with JJ, actually. We were having dinner at a restaurant, and the topic of mentorship came up. He talked about how mentorship is something that's incredibly important to him, because when he was younger, he had older people who were mentoring him, and now he thinks it's very important that he needs to mentor younger people and sort of like give them advice, guide them along the path, be that emotional, spiritual, creative support, which is a really beautiful thing. It's something that I think about all the time as well. I, of course, have had mentors in other parts of life. Perhaps I could use one now. And it's something that I should aspire to in the future. I should try to get to a place where I can have something to pass on and give to a younger generation, especially because I don't have children myself. Anyway, we were having this conversation, and I brought up to JJ the fact that I am sort of wondering why I'm here, why me, right? Why did he ask me or offer very generously to allow me to like just crash with him for this extended period of time? And that was sort of the theory I had, was like maybe he wanted to mentor me, or maybe he saw me as this person who has a lot of potential but is sort of like spinning aimlessly, has sort of lost my way, and thinks that he has something to give in terms of advice or direction or something like that. So I sort of proposed that to him, like, hey, is this what's going on here? And he said no. He said that he asked me because he thought I was an interesting person and that I would be a cool person to hang out with. And in terms of life advice, he's like, yeah, I don't really have any advice for you. Like, you seem to be doing okay to me. It was sort of an important moment for me, an important sort of realization for me that perhaps, for as much as I have this generally low view of myself and my output into the world, perhaps other people see more in me than I do in myself. And I suppose I will try to wrap up this reflective time with a statement of intent that I hope that someday I can be a source of encouragement to other people who are lost, wandering, searching, don't know what they're doing with their lives. I've produced a little bit of short form content in my time here, basically just sort of talking about my own reflections, my own sense of aimlessness, and how, like, no matter how much self-care and meditation and nutrition and exercise I do, I still don't feel great about myself, and it seems to be resonating with people. So I think it's safe to assume there's a lot of people out there who are struggling, a lot of people out there who feel somewhat lost and aimless and don't know what they're doing with their lives. I count myself among them, and I don't know, I hope that I can be helpful to people at some point. I hope that I can do my part to contribute in some way. I feel so blessed by all the people in my life who have invested in me, who have been supportive of me, who have let me use their laundry, who've let me use their bathroom, who've let me crash at their place. It's incredible. Yeah, it means the world to me how generous everyone has been, and it's something I've reflected on a lot. Of how can I transition away from just being a total mooch, leeching off of other people's generosity. What do I have to give back? Still sort of an open question for me. I don't feel like I have a great answer. Thank you to everyone who's watching. Thank you for following along. I'm sorry that I don't have any advice or direction or purpose or very much of anything to offer. Basically just sort of filling you in on my story. Maybe this will be interesting for myself to revisit a video like this further down the line. Again, I'm wanting to document this strange time in my life, and it feels like just a moment of transition.